Our dough has doubled, a little more than doubled actually. And at this point, we're going to have to decide if you want to make 1 or 2 loaves. I'm going to make 2. You've got multiple ways you can let it rise. I'm going to use these banneton, which you can either use with this cloth liner dusted with flour, and that'll give you a smooth surface. But it's really fun to do it without, and you're going to end up with this really cool texture on the top of your loaf. It'll be a lot of fun. So I'm going to let these 2 rise in just against the surface of the banneton itself. So we're going to dust it with flour. And the same with the second one. Dust it with flour. And pat it around so it kind of coats everything in there nicely. Ideally, I think you're supposed to use rice flour. I don't have any, so I'm using the normal flour here. Okay, so we got those set aside. We're going to want canola oil to coat, lightly coat a level plastic that will set over the top of these to let them rise. Okay, so I'm going to just very lightly coat my surface with some flour and gently let this out of the bowl. And we're going to gently again cut it in half. Might need a little bit of flour on your cutting tool, whether you're using a knife or a bench knife. So we're going to take and fold the wet sides over, turn it over, and at this point we're going to try to create some surface tension on the top of this dough, and do that by pushing against it, tucking the loose edges underneath. Just push with your hand and you should get a really nice springy to the touch surface. And the bottom, you should have that seam tucked under. You're just going to place it in your banneton. Do the same thing with the second one. Fold the corners in. Turn it over. And the same thing, we're going to try to turn it, create some surface tension. I think the point of that surface tension is to allow this thing to expand without the gases from the carbon dioxide getting out of it. I could be wrong on the actual intent of it, but I think that's the case. I'm going to pinch my bottom of the dough. Okay, put that on our second banneton. Lightly spray the surface of some plastic wrap. Just a little bit of canola, spray canola. Which we'll turn over and put on top of these bannetons. So that'll nicely release, it won't stick to the towel I'm going to put on top, and then I have a towel I use for cupping pastries. Okay, and we're going to let that rise as well, and that can take a while for that part to rise. It can take 45 minutes, it can take 90 minutes. All right, so during that time you're going to want to preheat your oven to 475. You want a nice baking stone in there. Once you put these in the in the oven, you're going to reduce that temperature down and bake it at 425, but you're going to want to raise it to 475. So wait a little while so you don't overheat your kitchen too early. That's what our next step is.